Hello everyone, this is Dr. Surya. Today we are going to see about Buckingham's pi theorem. Okay, so in Rayleigh's method of dimensional analysis, it will be very difficult if the variables is more than the number of fundamental dimensions. So then the fundamental dimensions will be MLT, that is mass, length and time is the fundamental dimensions, and if the variables are more than that fundamental dimensions, it will be very difficult to determine the equation using Rayleigh's method. So for that purpose, this difficulty is solved by Buckingham's pi theorem. It states that if there are n variables, that is the variable can be an independent or dependent variables. So if there are n variables and if these variables contain m fundamental dimensions, that is m, l and 3, then each and every variable can be arranged into n minus m dimensionless terms, and each and every term is called to be a pi term. Say for example, if x1, x2, x3 and xn, so these are the variables that are involved in a physical phenomena. Imagine that x1, x2, x3 up to xn, they are the variables that is involved in a physical problem, and let x1 be the dependent variable. Okay, so imagine that this x1 is a dependent variable. Okay, and other all the terms, say x2, x3 up to xm will be independent variable. So you imagine like this, x1 is a dependent variable and remaining other terms are independent variables. Okay, so this x1 depends on x2, x3 up to xm. So if this is the case, then x1 will be the function of x2, x3 and xn. So which means x1 will be a function of f of x1, x2, x it will not get x1 here. So function of x2, x3 up to xm. Okay, so this can be rewritten as, how we can write it as, it's a function of f1 of x2, x1, x2, x3 up to xm is equal to 0. This can be rewritten like this, and this equation will be a dimensionally homogeneous equation. Okay, now this contains, the above equation contains n variables, and we know that, that is, we can say that there are n variables, and we know that there will be m fundamental dimensions according to Buckingham pi theorem. Okay, so if this is the case, the above equation can be written in terms of number of dimensional groups or pi terms, in which the number of pi terms will be equal to, pi will be equal to n minus m. Okay, so the equation will becomes f of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 up to pi n minus m is equal to 0. And each of the pi term will be dimensionless and it will be independent of the system. Okay, so either we divide or multiply by a constant, it will not change the character of the pi term. Okay, and this my pi 1 will be equal to x2 of a1, x3 of b1, x4 of c1 and x1. Pi 2 will be x2 of a2, x3 of b2, x4 of c2 and x5, the other variable. So likewise, up to, we can write up to pi n minus m will be equal to x2 of a n minus m, x3 of b n minus m, x4 of c n minus m and xn. So this is how we have to write it, and each and every equation should be solved by means of dimensional homogeneity, and the values of a1, b1, c1 etc. can be obtained. So we have to solve the equation and we have to get the values of this arbitrary powers a1, b1 and c1, a, b and c. Okay, then we have to substitute this in the equation, and then substitute in the pi equation, and we have to get the values of pi 1, pi 2 and pi n minus m can be obtained. Okay, so this is how you have to do it off. And you have a separate thing for selecting your repeated variables, that is each and every time you have to select your repeated variables in case of your Buckingham's pi theorem. So this if you in case you can see here again x2, x3 and x4, x2, x3 and x4, x2, x3 and x4. So these x2, x3 and x4 is called as the repeating variable. So if supposing if there are n variables, say some 5 or 6 variables are there in the equation, then what are the variables I should select as these repeating variables? That is a big question mark. So we have to determine that first, how to select the repeating variables. So that's how we are going to see now. So the method of selecting repeating variables will be, the dependent variable should not be selected as repeated variable. This is the most important one. So for what we are going to derive an expression, that variable should not be selected as a repeating variable. And secondly, the repeated variables, whatever we are choosing, it should be in such a way that it should contain a geometric property. One variable should represent the geometric property, another variable should represent the flow property, and another variable should represent a fluid property. Say for example, the variables with the geometry property will be our length, the diameter d, and height h. So these are the variables that represents our geometric property. Some examples I am giving. So the variables will be flow property is velocity v, acceleration. So these are the variables which is having the some of the examples which represent your flow property. Variables with fluid property means our dynamic viscosity, density. So these are the variables that represent our fluid property. So one variable should consist of geometric property, that is it should be from this L, D or H. Another variable should consist of velocity or acceleration. Third variable should represent our fluid properties, either it should consist of viscosity or density. This is how we have to choose our repeating variables. Okay, and next is that these repeated variables selected should not form a dimensionless group. That is more important thing. And this repeating variables together, they should have the same number of fundamental dimensions, that is MLT, and no two repeating variables should have the same dimensions. So say if any one of the variable is having a dimension as mt power minus 1, another repeating variable also should not have the same dimension as mt power minus 1. So each and every variable should have a different dimensions. That is more important. And the most commonly used repeating choice of repeating variable will be d, v, rho. That is g belong to our geometric property, v is flow property, and rho is our fluid property. And similarly, length is geometric property, velocity is flow property, and rho will be our fluid property. Here length is geometric property, velocity is flow property, and viscosity is our fluid property. So likewise we have to choose one variable consists of geometric property, another variable should consist of flow property, and another variable should consist of our fluid property. So this is how we have to choose it off. So the next thing is that we are going to solve a problem on this. So the problem is going to be the pressure difference del P in a pipe of diameter D, length L, due to turbulent flow is depending on velocity, viscosity, density and roughness K. So use Buckingham theorem and obtain the expression for del P. So this is what is given to us in the problem. So how we are going to solve is that we are going to get an expression for del P. Then my del P is going to be the dependent variable. Okay, so this is the dependent variable and this is depending on length, diameter and everything. So del P is a dependent variable. So del P will be the function of all the other terms. So I can write the function like del P is a function of diameter, length velocity, viscosity, density, and then roughness. Okay, and this can be rewritten as F1 of del P d L V mu rho K is equal to 0. Now we have to count the total number of variables n, because only if we count and we get the n value, then n minus m will be our pi terms. In order to determine the number of pi terms, we are going to count the number of variables n. N is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 variables is there, and we have our fundamental equations, that is number of fundamental equations or fundamental dimensions is 3, that is MLT. MLT is our fundamental dimensions. So fundamental dimensions m is equal to 3. Then number of pi terms will be n minus m, so which is equal to 7 minus 3, that is I will be having 4 number of pi terms. So this is what we have determined, 4 number of pi terms should be there. Then if that is the case, we have to write as f1 of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3, pi 4 is equal to 0. Okay, so each pi term should consist of m plus 1 variables, that is 3 dependent variables as well as one variable, another variable. So each and every pi term should consist of m plus 1 variables. Okay, now I can keep this equation as 1 and this equation as 2. Now the next step is that we have to write a dimension for each and every term. So first term is going to be our del P. Del P is nothing but pressure difference, right? So pressure difference, I can write the dimension of pressure. So whatever the pressure dimension, I can write it up. So here I am going to derive the pressure dimension for pressure. So actually what is pressure? Pressure is nothing but force into area. So what is force? Force is nothing but mass into acceleration. So mass into what is acceleration? Velocity by time. What is velocity? What is velocity? Distance by time. So already I have one more time, that is here you can see time. So dimension will become m into distance is L divided by t square. So for force the dimension is ml t power minus 2, and for area it is L square. Okay, so I'm sorry, pressure is nothing but force by area. I've told it wrongly. Okay, force by area. So this is force in. So first force by area, because stress is force by area. So similarly pressure is also force by area. So I have committed a mistake, I am sorry. This is force by area. So area is L square. So pressure will be equal to force by area. So force we have derived as ml t power minus 2, that is ml t square. Area is L square. So 1L will get cancelled. So for pressure the dimension is ml power minus 1 t power minus 2. Similarly we have to derive for each and every term. So del P it is ml power minus 1 t power minus 2. And next is for diameter. Diameter will, if you know the unit, we can write the same thing. So the unit for diameter is meter. Meter means it is represented by length, so L. Then we have our length, L is equal to L. And next we have our velocity. Velocity is distance by time taken, or we represent it as meter per second. So L power L T power minus 1. And next is our viscosity. Viscosity, the dimension is m L power minus 1 T power minus 1. And density, we have our dimension is mass by volume, so m L power minus 3. And finally we have our roughness K. K is going to be L. So this is how we have to write the dimensions for each and every term. And next is that we have to choose our repeating variables. So how to choose our repeating variables? Our repeating variable should consist of one geometric property, one flow property and one fluid property. Okay, so here geometric property I will choose this D, and for flow property I will choose this velocity, and for the fluid property I will choose this rho. So I am choosing D, V and rho as the repeating variables here. So because each and everything you can see, one dimension is L, another dimension is L T power minus 1 and another one dimension is M L power minus 3. So each and every term is having different dimension, and these repeating variables is representing one fluid property, one flow property and one geometric property. Now we have to write the how many terms, how many pi terms we have to write? 4 pi terms we have to write, that is n minus m is equal to 4. So 4 pi terms should be there. So pi 1 will be equal to dA1. First I will write the repeating variable VB1 rho C1 into del P. This is my dependent variable. So first pi term I should write my dependent variable, and similarly I have to write the others. Then pi 2 will be equal to dA2 VB2 rho C2. The next term is L. Next pi 3. Pi 3 will be equal to dA3 VB3 rho C3, and the next term is mu. Then pi 4 term will be equal to dA4 VB4 rho C4. The left out term is K. So this is how we have to write our pi term. So once the pi term is written, now we'll have to derive the each and every term. So first we'll take our first pi term. So we are going to take our first pi term. So first pi term is pi 1 is equal to dA power 1 VB power 1 rho C power 1 del P. Now we have to write the dimensions for each and everything. So pi term, it is a dimensionless term. So it is m power 0, L power 0, T power 0, and D is L power A1, B is L T power minus 1 B1, rho is m L power minus 3 C1, and del P is m L power minus 1 T power minus 2. So this is written as m power 0, L power 0, T power 0, L A1, L B1, T power minus B1, m power C1, L power minus 3 C1, m L power minus 1, T power minus 2. So now we are going to equate the power of, that is power of m, L and T on both the sides. So first I will take power of m. So if you take in the left hand side, I have 0 here. In the right hand side, I can see C1 plus 1. Then C1 is equal to minus 1. Next I am going to take power of L. Power of L. So 0 is equal to A1 plus B1 minus 3C1 minus 1. Okay. A1, only C1 value is known to me. I don't know this B1. So what I am doing is I am taking power of T. I am having 0 is equal to minus B1 minus 2. So B1 is equal to minus 2. Okay. So now I can substitute the value of B1 and C1 and can get the A1 value. So again coming back to power of L. 0 is equal to A1 plus B1 minus 3C1 minus 1. So I will be getting A1 is equal to 0. Just substitute the values of b1 and c1 and get the value of a1. Now what I'm going to do is, in pi term I have to substitute all the values. Something like my pi1 is nothing but dA1 VB1 rho C1 del P. So now my pi1 is equal to d power 0 V power minus 2 rho power minus 1 into del P. So my pi1 is equal to del P by rho V square. So this is the pi1 term. So I have got for pi1. Similarly I have to get for pi2 and pi2, pi3 and pi4. So next we are going to take for second pi term. Second pi term. So which is pi2 is equal to d power a2 v power b2 rho power c2 into L. So just substitute the dimension. M power 0, L power 0, T power 0 is equal to L power a2 L T power minus 1 b2 M L power minus 3 c2 into L. So this can be written as M power 0, L power 0, T power 0, L power a2, L power b2, T power minus b2, M power c2, L power minus 3 c2 into L. Now take the power of M. I'll be getting 0 is equal to C2. Only I have M term here. In term only in C I have the M term, so I'll get C2 is equal to 0. Next, power of L, I'll be getting 0 is equal to A2 minus B2 minus 3C2 plus 1. So I don't know the value of B2, so I'm taking power of T to get the value of B2. Power of T is nothing but 0 is equal to minus B2. So which is, you can see here I have only 0 and I have only one T term, that is minus B2. So this is how I'll get the B2 value. Now substitute the value of B2 and C2 in power of L. I'll be getting 0 is equal to A2 minus 0 minus 3 into 0 plus 1. So I'll be getting my A2 value as minus 1. Now my pi2 is equal to d power A2 V power B2 rho power C2 into L. So pi2 is equal to d power minus 1 V power 0 rho power 0 into L. So pi2 is equal to L by T. Next is we'll go to our third pi term, which is pi3 is equal to d power a3 v power b3 rho power c3 into mu. So which is m power 0, L power 0, T power 0, L power a3, L T power minus 1 b3, m L power minus 3 c3 into m L power minus 1 T power minus 1. So again I am rewriting it as L power a3, L power b3, T power minus b3, m power c3, L power minus 3 c3, m L power minus 1, T power minus 1. Now again we are going to equate the powers of m, L and T on both the sides. Now I'll take the power of m. So which is 0 is equal to, I have c3 and I have 1 here, c3 plus 1, where I will be getting c3 is equal to minus 1. Next is power of L. So if you take L, I can take power of T here. So which is 0 is equal to minus B3 minus 1. So B3 is equal to minus 1. Next is power of L. I have 0 is equal to A3 plus B3 minus 3C3 minus 1. So on substituting the values, I will be getting A3 value is, I don't have, I have to get it, C3 is minus 1. So 0 is equal to minus 1, minus 1, minus 3 into minus 1, minus 1. Sorry, this is A3. So I'll be getting my A3 value as minus 1. Now substitute all the terms. So I'll be having pi 3 is equal to d power A3 v power B3 rho power C3 into mu. So pi 3 will be equal to d power minus 1 v power minus 1 rho power minus 1 into mu. So I'll be having pi 3 is equal to mu by dv rho. So this is my pi 3 term. Next step is that I have to get the value of pi 4. So similarly I'll be getting my pi 4 value. So I'm not going to do here. So pi 4 is equal to dA power 4 vB power 4 rho C power 4 and k. I'll write the dimension m power 0, L power 0, T power 0, L power A power 4, L T power minus 1 B power 4, m L power minus 3 C power 4 and L. So on equating I'll be getting A4 is minus 1, B4 as 0 and C4 is equal to 0. So my pi 4 will be equal to d power minus 1 v power 0 rho power 0 into k. So pi 4 is equal to k by d. So this is what the pi term I have got. Now what we are going to do is we are going to substitute all the values of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 and pi 4 in equation 2. Substitute pi 1, pi 2, pi 3, pi 4 in equation 2. That is function of pi 1 comma pi 2 comma pi 3 comma pi 4 is equal to 0. So substitute here. So f1 of pi 1 is del p by rho v square 1 by d mu by dv rho k by d is equal to 0. Now we want to get the equation of del p by rho v square, right? So del p by rho v square is equal to some constant of 1 by d mu by dv rho k by d. Now we can rewrite as, we can bring that rho v square to the other side. So del p is equal to rho v square phi of L by d mu by dv rho k by d is an expression for del p. So we can stop here, or we can simplify and we can do and write it here, but this will be enough for this portion. And thank you and happy learning.